Hey everybody, Truth Dog here, internet's favorite dog, back at it with another crazy video. In this one I want to show how TV shows, movies and commercials deliberately depict people who are threats to the system in a negative light to basically ridicule and discourage anybody from becoming that way. So in this first one, this is a clip from an old TV show called Barney Miller, and I mean there are hundreds, if not thousands, if not millions of examples of this sort of stuff out there. These are just the ones that I could find to put this video together. We have an episode where a conspiracy theorist, and anytime they want to depict a conspiracy theorist, they always make them unlikable. They always make them seem crazy, so that anybody watching doesn't ever get in their head the idea that of looking into this sort of stuff, because it's like I was saying, they do it in pretty much everything. You can't even trace it back to, oh, I remember seeing it in this. It's oversaturated. Nearly anytime they want to depict someone who's crazy, they make him a conspiracy theorist, and they characterize them as usually unattractive. Usually they have a bad temper. They're pushy. They have very negative character traits, and nobody likes them. So it's basically like, you don't want to be like that. We'll just start the clip.
They're the ones you should be arresting, not me.
Why don't you say that before? What we got here? Cam, this is William Klein. He was wrecking an office.
But I just wanted to meet them face to face. I wanted them to admit what they were doing.
Who is they? He was in the office of the Trilateral Commission.
Trilateral Commission.
Yeah, the Trilateral Commission.
All right.
Hilarious. the guy wasn't, the laugh track guy wasn't sure what to do there, so he maybe he's like elbow grazed the laugh button or something. There was no fucking jokes there.
Right, what is the Trilateral Commission?
It's meant to be a joke, apparently.
It's an organization founded in 1973 by David Rockefeller to bring together business and political leaders from the United States, Europe, Japan, so they could work together for better economic and political cooperation between their nations.
And that's what they'd like us to believe. But you see, what they're really up to is a scheme to plant their own loyal members in...
See how crazy he comes across? This guy's played by Jeffrey Tambor, who's a piece of shit in real life. So, they'll probably been like, hey, let's try to find the biggest piece of shit possible to play this conspiracy theorist, so that anyone who watches it will just they'll now have this bias towards conspiracy theorists. They've seen those types of people and they're awful. You know, I hate those conspiracy theorists. They make him unattractive. He's bald. All the other guys have full heads of hair. You know, this guy looks like he's pulling some trickery. He's wearing a trench coat. It makes him look like a flasher. He's not stylish. Like I said, he's unpleasant. He has a temper. He's pushy. He just seems irrational. He just seems, you know, he just seems crazy.
Positions of power in this country.
Of course, everything they're saying is true, but it doesn't come across as true. And, you know, that's how they want... They not only want to give you this example of conspiracy theorists, which is really just critical thinkers. I should say that the term conspiracy theorist was coined by the CIA during Richard Nixon's administration. It was to basically to weaponize the term critical thinkers, which is just people who think for themselves, who question authority. That is obviously a threat to corrupt authority. So they came up with this term to basically ridicule people who think for themselves. And anytime they say it, it's an automatic shutdown, you know what I mean? And anyone who hears the term is conditioned and programmed to understand that it means bad person. Anyone who is that way is crazy, you know, they're a bad person. They're anti-human, basically.
To work to erase national boundaries, create an international community, and in time bring about a one world government with David Rockefeller calling the shots.
I take it they're
Just see how
pressing
irrational
charges.
he seems.
I take it
how,
they're pressing charges.
Yeah, well...
like violent, you know, these people are dangerous. He's punching his fist just to make his point, you know. Just seems crazy.
He broke a globe and some UNICEF artwork.
Well, they're in on it too.
And even the canned laughter finds that one funny. UNICEF, I mean, all these things are all the corrupt pieces of shit. It's all Illuminati. All charity is basically, the money goes to, it just lines the pockets of the people pulling the charity. It's like cancer, you know, that not only do they have a cure for cancer, the cure for cancer is, you know, avoid getting cancer, but easier said than done. But, you know, obviously they're never going to find a cure for cancer because they make so much fucking money off it. It's problem, reaction, solution, which is everything they do. Basically, they start with the problem. They start with the solution, which is how to, you know, something that benefits them. How do they keep in control? You know, they screw people over by doing something, and then they figure out a way to make everyone believe in a lie. So, and then they offer them the solution. I'm not explaining this very well. I should be punching my fists more. But, you know, problem, reaction, solution. Okay, so they want to inject everyone with poison. We'll take this as an example. They want to inject everyone with poison to make everybody sick. And so they make more money in the medical industry, right? So they create a virus. They tell everybody it's out there and that you need this thing to protect you, right? And so everybody gets the thing that they think is meant to protect them. It actually gives them the virus. Not all people, because there's this thing called, what is it? The advocate. The advocate approach is how they do it, how they do that thing I'm talking about, where not every single shot has poison in it, right? Only like 1 in 10 or fewer shots have poison in it that's going to create like bad health problems. All the rest are, you know, salt water, placebo. But 1 in 10 will say has the thing. And so that way you're making sure that you are killing people, making people sick, which is just creating more suffering in the world, which is what they really feed on, suffering, any kind of low vibration negativity. It ensures that more people are going through suffering. It ensures that more people are paying for medicines and treatments. It ensures that, you know, people are dying, which is causing grief. It does all that sort of stuff. But at the same time, it's not doing it quite enough for everybody to be saying, hey, maybe these conspiracy theorists are onto something. People are dropping like flies left and right. You know, maybe they're right about that thing that's meant to be good for us. So they do it in small amounts. They still get their way, and they get to do it for longer. And they encourage people to go back for more, because it's like rolling the dice. And the more you go back, the more likely it is to eventually happen to you. It's interesting. Some people actually do end up realizing that they were wrong after it happens to them. But, you know, at that point, it's too late, which is good for the system, but bad for you. The other thing is, too, like I said, if it's happening at a slow rate where they can almost normalize it, that, you know, people have always had heart attacks or just fainted out of nowhere, it makes the conspiracy theorists look insane, like they're trying to do with this show right here.
Okay, Mr. Klein, if you
I'm
just...
telling you, our whole way of life as we know it is in jeopardy.
I appreciate that information.
But I have the documented evidence. It's all in there. Show him.
See this guy's disdain on his face? It's like he wants to punch this guy out just for talking about these things. This is what they do, these attitudes to program the organic portals. They also, like, an organic portal could also take on the role of this guy, which makes it frustrating to be a truth, or I just say a person with a brain, a working brain, I should say. It makes it frustrating because there are, you know, organic portals, empty people. 70% of people don't think. They watch television and get their opinions from the news and from school, and they literally believe everything they're told by authority. Okay, authority. Television is an authority. It's a babysitter, right? That they will see this. An organic portal could see this. They could take on, it depends if they're what kind of person they are. They relate by physical appearance. So if they look more like a normal guy, you know, with a full head of hair at this age, they're going to fucking want to punch these conspiracy theorists out. They hate conspiracy theorists. If there's some sort of, you know, loser type, or, you know, doesn't have many friends, it's an outcast, kind of empty seed or organic portal, they're going to take on the role of this guy and make people who are critical thinkers, who do know how to express themselves properly and conduct themselves in a way that's going to be a little bit more socially acceptable, we'll say. They're going to be walking around spouting all this insane shit, making us look bad. And that's one thing they definitely do. I've got an example coming up of Alex Jones. He's a shill. One of the main reasons they have Alex Jones out there, I can't believe there are people who watch me who are like, who still believe Alex Jones is real. I never even looked at I never even watched Alex Jones before I found out all this stuff. And when I did, I really couldn't believe that anyone thought that he was on the level. He's literally like an infomercial guy. I'm pretty sure he's Bill Hicks, but we won't get into that because it doesn't make me sound any better. They do all this shit too. It's like literally Bill Hicks playing a character, and just by saying that, because it sounds crazy. Everything else you have to say is irrelevant. It's disregarded as insanity because you started off with Alex Jones as Bill Hicks, which it probably fucking is true. But what I'm trying to say is they have these people in the public eye. They deliberately promote them. They're out there so that, if you were to search any conspiracy, you're going to find these shills at the top of the search. And, you might never even find someone who's real if you search conspiracy topics. And you'll look at it and be like, right, I don't know about this. This guy seems crazy. They'll mix they'll mix facts with lies. So even if what they're saying is true, it doesn't sound like it's true because like anyone with any kind of critical thinking ability will be like, I don't know, this guy just seems full of shit. They deliberately act in a way which is unpleasant, which, like I said, just on a subliminal level makes you dislike them and not want to listen to what they're saying. Let's see if there's anything more in this. But I mean, I think you get the point of this one. We should probably move on.
Magazines.
Okay, this next example is from Seinfeld. We got Georgie Porgy here who's not feeling well. He needs surgery. He ate something that didn't agree with him, probably fruit or vegetable. We'll get to that. As you can see, he's depicted again in a very similar way to the guy from before. I won't get into it. Jerry, again, full head of hair, snappy dresser, very funny guy. He's doubting George because George is wanting to see this naturopath, more like a psychopath, right? We'll get to that as well. George is not wanting to see GPs anymore because he's sick of it. And so this whole scene is basically to put you off the idea of going to a spiritual healer. It's also to put you off the idea of spiritual people, to give you a negative impression and association and subliminal bias against these people because how he's depicted is very unpleasant and negative, just like the example with the conspiracy theorist.
So how do you like the way I talked you into coming down here?
Don't flatter yourself, my friend. I'm here strictly for material, and I have a feeling this is a potential gold mine.
Hey, so here, Jerry.
I think you're nuts, though.
So he's nuts for wanting to go against the system.
All I know is I've been going to doctors all my life. What's it gotten me? I'm 33 years old. I haven't outgrown the problems of...
33, Freemasonry, letter M. 33 is the highest... 33 degrees is the highest ranking of Freemasons. They put that number in everything all the time.
Puberty. I'm already facing the problems of old age.
Just to let you know who's behind all this shit.
I completely skipped healthy adulthood. I went from having orgasms immediately to taking forever. You can do your taxes in the time it takes me to have an orgasm.
So they're always talking about sex because sex is like the lowest vibration. If you're going by the chakras, it's the red chakra, which is in the pelvis. It controls fight or flight. It's just reactionary. It's not thinking at all. The highest is the purple or whatever up the top, the crown chakra. So it's the lowest form. It requires no thought. It's all just reactionary. They're always joking about sex. It's either sex, violence, or fear, like the news, and they get you into this sort of low vibe state so they can sell you on other ideas, get you laughing about low vibrational things. So you have a good feeling about what's happening and you trust who's talking, and then once they've got you in a compatible state, vibrational, with how they want you, then they sell you on the idea. So they get you laughing about sex here, which is very low, and then they'll sell you on the idea that you should be afraid of spiritual people, naturopaths, and you should just stick with the doctors who will make you wait 2 hours around a bunch of other sick people, charge you out the arse for a placebo or some sort of poison. Yeah.
I never had a normal, medium orgasm.
I never had a really good pickle.
Okay, so like kind of what I was talking about before, he just said he's never had a good pickle, vegetable. See, they don't want you to like vegetables, and they got you in this state where you're agreeing with everything he's saying, you're laughing, etc. And it's also sexual, what he said. Pickle is, a very phallic looking object. It's coming from a man who's saying it, and they're just wanting you to subliminally have a negative association with pickles. You're not going to have a good vegetable, is the idea. That's the subliminal intent. Roaring laughter.
Besides, what's it gonna cost me? $38?
So here's the spiritual healer. They depict him in a very specific way, consistent with everything we've been seeing so far. Are you seeing a pattern here? A male pattern, perhaps? Doesn't know how to dress. Not particularly good looking. He gets along with Kramer, who's meant to be the crazy idiot of the show. So it just shows that this guy is a crazy idiot. Even George is sus on him.
Would you not put your foot on that, please?
Sorry.
First thing he says is telling the main character off. He doesn't even say hello. It's unpleasant, no social graces.
What month were you born?
April.
You should have been born in August.
Scary looking fuck. Plus they're shitting on astrology, which is a real thing. Most people think it's not. They think they're so smart because they can see that horoscopes are bullshit, but horoscopes are deliberately the only thing they let you know about astrology. So again, you have a negative association with it. Like astrology's are like literally the tip of the iceberg when it comes to it. It's actually pretty detailed and complicated. But because all they want you to know about it is horoscopes in stupid women's magazines that are really general and vague. It just seems like psychics, the same way they do it with psychics on TV. It's just to give you a negative association. Plus, if astrology was bullshit, they'll teach it in school, but they don't even go near it.
Your parents would have been well advised to wait.
Really?
Very helpful.
Do you use hot water in the shower?
Yes.
Stop using it.
So hot showers, again, are probably a bad thing, but because this guy says it, you're going to have as many hot showers as hot dinners.
Okay. I'm off hot water.
See, Kramer, the crazy unemployed moron, agrees with this guy, which means that this, to the audience, they know Kramer's stupid. He's agreeing with this guy, so this guy's stupid.
Kramer tells me that you are interested in an alternative to surgery.
Yeah.
Guy fucking talks like Sheldon from Big Bang Theory. It's really not helping me like him.
Yes. Yes, I am.
Okay, so you go to these naturopaths or psychopaths, and all they'll do is blow hot air in your face, right? Okay. Well, I hope Jerry's getting as much material as I am. We'll move on because we've got quite a few examples to get to. This next one's Alex Jones, again depicting conspiracy theorists as crazy, uncivilized, rageaholic nut jobs.
The tyrants did it. Hitler took the guns. Stalin took the
Body
guns.
language pointing. See, good old Bill Hicks here. He's deliberately acting uncivilized, unpleasant.
Mao took the guns. Fidel Castro took the guns. Hugo Chavez took the
Angry. They're depicting Piers Morgan as the intellectual who can keep his cool. Alex Jones, hot-headed, psycho, right? So just to give people a negative association, Alex Jones, for those who are somehow not aware, is a shill, most likely played by Bill Hicks, although that's one of those things, again, when you say that, especially when you open with that, it doesn't really lend credence to your credibility, but oh well. And yeah, so what he's saying, again, is not untrue. It's just how he's saying it, and they deliberately put this guy, they promote this guy as like the #1 conspiracy theorist, because most people with any ability to think critically would look at him and think, this fat, crazy infomercial guy is clearly wrong. You know what I mean? He's, at the very least, he's so unpleasant, you don't want to listen to what he says. And so they're just, again, giving people this association with conspiracy theorists, so people just shut down. They don't want to listen to what you have to say. And if you are still like in this mindset of like following these sort of people, you'll probably imitate this sort of behavior, and you'll have about as much luck as Alex Jones does in this scene, which, like I said, it's all by design. And
I'm going to tell you, 1776 will commence again if you try to take our firearms. Doesn't matter how many lemmings you get out there on the street begging for them to have their guns taken. We will not release.
right. So yeah, just with the whole gun control thing, I mean, obviously guns are bad, but they introduced guns for a reason. It was so that it was the quickest and easiest way to kill us and for us to kill each other, and World War I, World War II and all that sort of thing. But, you know, they kind of shot themselves in the foot because by introducing them, they also have to eventually take them away when they instate martial law. So now they have to work at gaining the public's approval of gun control, and they do that by using deliberately insane people like Alex Jones to make people who are in favor of gun control seem like irrational psychos. I think that's pretty easy to understand.
Do you understand? That's why
I do understand.
Going to fail, and the establishment knows no matter how much propaganda, the Republic will rise again when you attempt to take our guns. My family in the Texas...
See, so like how much propaganda? He is propaganda. What will we go next to? Okay, so this is an example of what they do. It's not just, it's basically anyone who's right on television. So conspiracy theorists, people of a spiritual nature, which should be the same thing. And something that also should be the same thing, but is surprisingly not, is people who don't want to eat animals because they can understand that it is evil, satanic, blood sacrifice, murder, and you're putting nothing but parasites and dead energy in your body. And it's just, it's sad and it's crazy. And so they depict anybody who is basically anybody who they want you to dislike. One of the quickest ways that they get you to do that when you're still, we'll say, asleep, is by making them a vegetarian, or in this case I would say a vegan, because this guy apparently ordered the vegetable lasagna, and so they don't even see him as human, they just refer to him as vegetable lasagna. And basically there's like subtle hints of gang stalking throughout this scene. I also remember when I did my importance of hair video, some people were talking about how they tend to depict women with curly hair as crazy or with no friends. And so Elaine, this character here, she did have curly hair, but towards the end of the show they made her straighten the hair. They make pretty much everyone straighten their hair, all women, I guess because it usually looks terrible, but it's just that idea that all natural things must go. I suppose if they give women the idea that they can leave the house with their hair in a normal state, then they could maybe even have the goal to leave the house without friggin' cakes and makeup on their face, and that would be terrible.
Hey, you gonna bust out that drink card or what?
So just low vibration there, hunger and thirst, fight or flight.
You know, I think ultimately I'm upset with myself. I knew what I was getting into.
Even though they're not even though it's not Pepsi, it's still got the logo, which is curious. The red and blue, which is, you know, both two sides of the same coin.
It's a bitter, unstable person.
I'm talking Illuminati here. The sex was good. So again, talking about sex, getting you in a low vibration to sell you on the idea.
I need more.
That
You believe in this?
she wakes this guy up.
Excuse me, I was sleeping.
Well, you missed quite a performance.
That's my apple juice.
You can see it's basically gang stalking, but I'll get to the point.
Oh, you know, my last boyfriend.
Talking about money, low vibration.
Real Kroner comprehension problem. You know what I mean? A real cement head.
Sex. And see, the other idea, the reason that they use sex, because it's low vibration, and, you know, they really want to sell to men the idea that veganism and vegetarian are wrong and stupid, and you're not going to get girls by being that way. And that's kind of what this scene is depicting as well. That putty here, this big meathead guy, he likes meat and he gets all the ladies, right? It's that idea that if you combine these two in a certain way, you'll have a subliminal impact on men who really think, like that's how they sell it to men. Because men who are vegetarian or vegan are so rare. It's because they're always trying to sell the idea that that eating meat is masculine and it's sexy and it gets you the ladies, right?
Yeah.
Whereas women actually like guys who can protect the innocent. That's what they should like. But, you know, because that's a fact, they have to do the opposite thing.
It's a long flight, Elaine. I had to get on with my life.
By making time with some floozy across the aisle.
Yeah, that's right. What's going on over there with you and vegetable lasagna?
This guy? Oh, he's an idiot. He doesn't mean anything to me.
I can hear you.
So he doesn't get the girls. He's an idiot. Vegetable lasagna, not even human. This next example, actually, which one should we show? This is just a quick one. Hopefully, apparently it's been running this whole time. But this is from the movie Scott Pilgrim, which is a piece of shit. I mean, the definition of style over substance, where the bad guy in the movie is a vegan. And he's unpleasant, psycho, no social graces, no sense of humor, thinks he's arrogant, thinks he's better than everybody.
So, how's the tour? You guys play with the Pixies? You're like a superstar now.
Yeah, it's not really something I can put into words.
Envy. I read your blog.
So, Scott and Ramona, eh?
What of it?
You guys make a cute couple, you know? Suit each other.
You're my role model, Envy.
Ramona, I like your outfit. Affordable.
Envy, I was just gonna say, did you get those jeans in New York?
I'm talking.
When the hell are they going to get to the point?
Nice!
Oh, are you serious? Did the vegan dude punch a woman?
I kissed the lips that kissed you!
Oh, holy shit.
Nice!
Okay.
What?
So vegans are violent. The people who are totally anti-violence against small creatures are punching people out.
I'm not afraid to hit a girl.
I'm not afraid to hit a girl.
I'm a rock star.
I'm a rock star.
You punched the highlights out of her hair.
Oh my god, what a terrible thing. He punched the natural color back into her hair. See, it's like the exact same fucking thing I was talking about.
He punched the highlights out of her hair.
That's meant to be when I talk like this, it's funny.
I don't know the meaning of the word.
So he's stupid too. Vegan people are
You
stupid.
guys doing anything fun while you're in town?
Fun. In Toronto.
That's it! You cocky cock! You'll pay for your crimes against humanity!
Are they going to get to the point? Look, okay, so because it hasn't said, like, you'll just have to trust me. He's a vegan. Oh.
Looking for a better energy deal? Switch to AGL Online and we'll load you up with up to $150 in bill credits. With
Yeah, I forgot to
$75
tell you
off.
guys I was sponsored by AGL. Fucking hell, man. Can't even skip it.
You just can't pull yourself away from the warmth of a fireplace.
Another
and
one.
Barbecues galore. Like the Maxi Heat Prime at the flaming hot price of $7.99.
See, okay, here's the thing, now that we're on it. See, hear how this guy's talking? This is an ad from Australia. Hear how he's talking like this? Like he's brain damaged or something? Like, I can talk like that, and that's like not the only example of how most Aussies talk, mate. But I can talk like that, but I just tend to have like my own voice. Like you would believe me that this is my own voice. I'm not putting this on. Who the fuck would put this voice on, right? This is how I sound. I'm not trying to sound like this at all. But I can sound normal, or I can sound, you know, hey, how's it going? Or however mostly fucking weirdos talk. My question is, and I might make a video about this, are these fucks fucking doing these voices on purpose? Do they have like a normal voice like I do? Or do they sound like this by default? Leave your thoughts and feedback down below. But yeah, back to this vegan piece of shit. Fuck, man, I hate vegans!
Your hair.
Didn't you know? Todd's vegan.
Yeah, don't worry, they'll tell you. That's another fucking thing they say. That's another thing they say about vegan people. Don't worry, they'll tell you. Like, they're so annoying, they won't stop going on about it. It's like, people are such psychos. It's like the only reason someone would tell you they're vegan, unless there was some sort of psycho like this guy, which most wouldn't be, because that doesn't make sense, because the reason for going veganism is the opposite of psychopathy, is you have to tell them when you order something that you can't have this or that, because fucking everything fucking has animal products in it. Like, oh geez, don't worry, they'll tell you. What, was I supposed to eat meat? Oh yeah, right, I was.
No kidding.
Oh, 33, did you see that? Like I said before, the trash can, I'm pretty sure it had 2 3s. Bunch of fucking 3s, man. 33, yeah, so Freemason dickheads are behind this shit too. I mean, they're behind everything, but you see what I mean?
Anyone can be vegan.
Anyone can be vegan. Oh, he's even got the 3, he's probably got 3 on the back.
Ovo-lacto-vegetarian, maybe.
Over what?
I partake none of the meat, nor the breast.
So as you can see, yeah, just again depicting them as bad people. This example from Friends, same network, NBC as Seinfeld, both were the biggest shows on TV at the time. Just showing a bunch of sociopaths, really. which is the example they want you to have. They want most people to be narcissistic.
I can't find anything that I want to eat. Everything
shallow
makes me
cunts.
nauseous. I'm telling you, being pregnant is no piece of cake. Ooh, cake.
Low vibration food. But see, in this one, Phoebe, she's meant to be like the spiritual character again. So she's depicted as a ditzy moron. She's pregnant. She's agreed to carry someone else's child, which is probably a bad idea. And she's having all these weird cravings as what tends to happen in pregnancy. Specifically, it'll be meat cravings, and this character is vegetarian or vegan, and they show, ultimately the point of this clip is to show that anyone vegetarian or vegan is really just lying to themselves, and they really do not only need to eat meat, but they really, really want to eat it. They have cravings for it, and you can't get away from, your natural desires. That's what they're trying to make you think with this shit.
No.
So she smells something good coming from the shower.
What is that, Phoebe? Listen, there's something...
She just walks in on Joey, purple, in the shower.
I want to eat. What smells so good?
Is it the shampoo? It's guava.
No.
No, guava. That's a fruit. That's disgusting, right?
Ugh. Oh, wait. Is it my bologna sandwich?
Yes. Can't believe it. The baby wants bologna. Baby.
So see, meat, bologna sexual, bologna's cock-shaped, he's in the shower, he's naked. If a man did this to a woman, it would be another thing, but it's just their way of getting the idea that you can basically rape someone across in the easiest way. Like, it's more acceptable to show a woman doing it.
He wants me to eat meat. I can't eat meat.
Wait. Maybe it's a pickle.
Fucking same example as before, right? The pickle. Not only was it used sexually again, but it's an example of she recoiled like, ugh, yuck, pickles. Like, who wants to eat veggies, right?
What about that?
A salami.
Oh, yeah.
So again, making it sexual, especially for men, getting them into that sex mode, trying to link the idea of meat eating and sex as one, so that they never stop eating meat because they just they needs to get laid.
Then, what goes on top of the salami?
Oh, pastrami.
Oh,
Yeah. So you can see what's going on here.
It doesn't matter how much I'm craving it. I'm never going to eat meat because it's murder. It's cold-blooded murder.
So that's right.
Okay.
Chandler doesn't care. And, straight away, she can't help herself.
There's a Phoebe on my sandwich.
There's a Phoebe on my sandwich. It's kind of like a subliminal cannibalism joke. The idea that there's a human on his sandwich and it gets a big laugh. See what they try to do? They try to make you like these ideas in the most fucking covert, sick fucking ways. It's just too consistent to be anything else.
Phoebe, what are you doing?
I can't help it. I need the meat. The baby needs the meat.
Okay.
You know when you're dating someone...
That's like, the baby needs the meat. I need the meat. The baby needs the meat. Everybody needs the meat, right? You got to shove these fucking dead animals in the mouths of babies who fucking love animals. Just, it's like rape. Just make them fucking rape them. Rape the fucking babies, right? Oh, that doesn't sound good. Someone's going to take that out of context.
And you don't want to cheat on them unless it's with someone really hot.
Sex. Immoral.
All right, okay.
So they both agree that cheating's okay if it's with someone who's hot. Pieces
Well, this
of
is the
shit,
same
right?
kind of deal. If you're going to do something wrong, do it right.
So she ate some meat, and then now she loves eating meat, and that's basically the moral of the story. Never go vegetarian or vegan. It's bad for the baby. You don't want to hurt the baby. What is this? Here's another example.
Nope. Not unless you call
This weird-looking pedophile kind of creature. He's dating some chick, just casual sex. Again, sex, low vibration. It's always sex, and doesn't know anything about it. His cop friends are telling him, maybe you should find out some stuff about her.
Friends are just in my head. They think it's weird that we don't know anything about each other.
I think it's hot.
Totally. I'm glad we're not interested in each other as human beings.
As human beings, says the guy who doesn't even look like one.
Oh, how about if you tell me things about yourself and then I tell you how little I care about them?
Okay, here goes. I'm an only child.
Not interested.
I was born in Delaware.
Who even asked you?
I like that.
I don't care what you like.
So basically, nothing she can say is going to put him off. But there is one thing that someone can say that will make you never want to date them.
But maybe you could tell me one more thing.
She's a vegan!
What is going on?
You're right. I couldn't help myself. I wanted to know about her, and I got what I deserved. A vegan. A gluten-free vegan.
Charles.
Oh my God. Absolutely terrible. So you see what I mean? Move on. That's from The Simpsons. That's just one of the best shows. I should also say, like, I know I've gone preachy, but I've probably lost people. No one watches these videos after the 9-minute mark, I've been told. I just want to say, like, this is an amazing thing. If you haven't seen it, at least at The Vegetarian. This is the Simpsons for like the first 10 or 15 years was the only show on TV to not have to follow network notes. Jim Brooks, who has a lot of clout in the industry, who is not a piece of shit. He actually makes very good movies. That they had a deal with Fox that do the show because it was obviously a great idea. If there could be no network interference. So when The Simpsons, which was the best show on TV for about 10 years, I just want to let you know that for the first 7 years, the showrunners were all vegans. What do you think about that? The funniest, most heartfelt, most intelligent, most creative, most amazing piece of entertainment ever was a product of vegans. Showrunner, by the way, is the person who makes all the decisions, all the writing choices, all the plots, all the animation choices. They oversee everything. So, just so you know,
good morning, class.
This is an episode where Lisa decides to become vegetarian, and it's very funny.
Agitator.
A certain agitator. Just see, that's the attitude. Remember, he's seen Seinfeld. He's seen Friends. He knows that these vegetarians make him angry.
For privacy's sake, let's call her.
So they watch this educational film, which is telling the truth about the meat industry, how horrible it is. This little kid, little Jimmy, gets traumatized by it, and he's basically called an idiot. What's the name of the film again? I really recommend people watch this. If you haven't seen The Simpsons, what the hell? If you think I'm even remotely funny, you should watch this friggin' show in the first 7 years. It is the funniest. It's the best stuff ever. Meet and You, Partners in Freedom. Part of the Resistance is Useless series, right? Just amazing stuff. This is another thing that they're doing all the time. Mixed race couples. Every single commercial you see, if the couple are actually of the opposite gender, the rare time they're of the opposite gender, they're always of mixed race. Look at that guy. Well, that's weird. She's not, I don't think she's human either. Those eyes are like bugging out too. But the idea that they're wanting to mix white people with all races, goes back to Adolf Hitler. Doesn't everything. Where his agenda, remember, he wanted Nazi Superman, an Aryan race of white-skinned, blonde-haired, blue-eyed Superman, right? Even though he had brown hair and brown eyes, didn't make much sense. The reason for that is that people of fair features, people who are lacking in melanin, are the easiest to mind control. That might be because white people were the original clones that they started making, that the white race might not actually even be a natural thing. And so that they're running all these commercials, giving these organic portal, and just normalizing the idea that, you know, you have to be in a mixed race couple these days, otherwise you're racist, because they're trying to breed out all the natural races, all the normal races, black people, Chinese people, etc. Because they're the hardest to mind control. They're not as easily fooled as people of fairer features. And I'm not saying that all people of fairer features are like this, but by and large it is true. And that's the reason that they're doing this under the guise of, equality and whatnot. It's really just to breed out all natural races so that in the future you will likely have a situation that they showed in South Park, which is the Goobacks, where these people from the future, 1,000 years in the future, come back and they're all like literally a mix of every single race, every single person, and they're all the same, right? I should also mention that there's no jobs in the future anymore, I would imagine, because technology took them. But there's like one language, it's the one world government that has come into effect in the future. So they're just sort of predictive programming that. But that's the ultimate goal of these all the entertainment, you know, like making the Little Mermaid black, everything. It's divide and conquer, it's race baiting, and it's to make people argue, which is louche. But it's also ultimately to eliminate all black people, or Chinese people, or Japanese people, all Indian people, anyone of color, anyone of race and substance, anyone of culture, they want to get rid of. They want a bunch of easily mind-controlled drones and slaves who all look the same, sound the same, and don't think at all. Okay, so that's the video. Several examples of how they like to represent the truth in media. I hope you liked the video. Hope you learned a whole lot. But before we go, what did you think of the video? Bold, overweight, unpopular, unpleasant, washed up actor, Randy Quaid?
Very sad to watch this happen. But they forgot to wait.
Now that just sounds crazy. Truth dog out. Woof woof.